Hello, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I've decided to review DC's Legends of Tomorrow. This is Season 2, Episode 1, entitled Out of Time. And I said decided because I didn't really talk too much about Season 1 of Legends. I talked about the first episode, which I did enjoy a lot, but then the rest of the season sort of went downhill for me. I thought the show had so much potential. It could have been the coolest show out of all of the CW stuff, but the writing and the depiction of these characters and how unlikable a lot of them seemed, I really felt low with it. But it's a brand new season, and for the most part, brand new characters. So I was hoping, I was trying to be optimistic that this show would go the next level, would go above and beyond. And we instantly meet a brand new character, Dr. Nate Haywood, who we see him break into Oliver Queen's building, basically just to get a meeting with the guy. And he knows that Oliver is Green Arrow. He knows about the legends and them time traveling. He explains that he is some historian that's deduced throughout history all of these changes being made, and that it has to be connected to people like Sarah Lance and Ray Palmer. So he's trying to get to the bottom of this happening, the history changing, the events changing. And him, along with Oliver Queen, go to this abandoned ship in the water because Haywood thinks that the team has died at some point in 1942. So that's why Oliver's interested. They find Rory, and he starts explaining to them what happened. And we see 1637 in France. The team was assigned to protect the king and queen of France from these assassins who came in there. You get a little joke of Sarah Lance sleeping with the queen, because the show likes to point out that Sarah Lance likes women. So they like to almost hit you over the head with that fact. It was fine. I mean, look, I make it sound like I'm complaining. No, I'm not. I always thought that when Sarah was on Arrow, they really put a lot of detail into her character just to put more layers on her and make her more interesting. Where I feel like Legends just kind of take the character as she is and give us the dumbed down version of her. And I just don't really like the writing of her on this show. And it seemed like we were just, hey, Sarah likes women, so let's just have that be a joke throughout the whole thing. They do it again later on, where it's just, that's all she does, apparently, is just sleep with women. I would have liked to have seen her be a part of the group and kick some ass and just be out there fighting the assassins like what she does best. But we see that Rip Hunter explains about how they basically took over as the Time Masters. The Time Masters are no more. And so they're basically having to look into the timeline and see if anything goes off course. If it does, they have to go to that time and fix it, set it straight, set it right. It sounds like an impossible job, because how can you know what the real thing is? How do you not be selfish and want to go back and change something to work in your benefit? Case in point, Sarah Lance is hell-bent on finding Damien Dark and killing him before he ever gets a chance to kill Laurel Lance from season 4 of Arrow. And Ray Palmer is onto her. He's kind of figuring out what she's doing. There's even a moment when they realize that in 1942, the Nazis bombed New York with a nuclear bomb like 2 years before a nuclear bomb is supposed to have been made. So they have to go there to figure it out. And Sarah's more concerned about finding Dark. And Ray follows her. Now, look. Obviously, I'm going to be with Sarah on this. I'm going to understand why she wants to do this, why she wants to save her sister. If it can be done, then do it. And Damien Dark, for all of the bad, messed up things that he's done throughout the years, I don't see why taking him out early wouldn't be good for the world. Now, they have this rule where you can't go back and do things because it's selfish, even though I'm pretty sure Rip Hunter's whole plot in season 1 was going back for selfish reasons to save his wife and son. That seemed pretty selfish. That seemed like it was kind of the way things were supposed to go. But no, when Sarah wants to do it, it's bad. You can't do it. Ray was being a little bit too much of a goody two-shoes, in my opinion. I get where he's coming from, but it's like, come on. Even Sarah said, haven't you wanted to save your wife? And surprisingly, he said, yeah, but I didn't do it. And it blows my mind that Ray Palmer really is too good of a guy that he didn't ever try to go back and save his wife after how much that screwed him up. I don't know. He's a little too good of a guy. Just saying. But we see that the team thinks that the Nazis take Albert Einstein, and he must be the reason, the one who gets them the nuclear bomb before it's ever supposed to happen. And they meet him, they find him. At first, Einstein was a little bit of a creep, touching on women and stuff, and I don't know, I didn't really understand why he was acting like that. But of course we find out that no, it's not Einstein that they find, it's his ex-wife that the Nazis grab. I found it more interesting that Dark was working with the Nazis and he was part of what was going on here. And also, so the group, they go to go after Dark. They go after the nuclear bomb. They try to stop it from happening. They have a big fight, but they have to fall back. They at least stop the bomb from being detonated. And this is where we get a quick glimpse of Rip Hunter teaching Jax to learn the ship and to fly the ship, because I guess he thinks that something's going to happen to him. I gotta be honest, I've never really cared too much about the Rip Hunter character, so this whole part where they start getting attacked, the ship starts getting attacked, and he has to make the choice. The only way to save the team is to send them all out into different parts of time. And so they're all gone, and then he it looks like he sacrifices himself. We don't really know. I assume that because they didn't tell us that he in fact died, he probably didn't die, and we'll probably get him back, yada yada. We cut back to Oliver and Nate and Rory, and honestly the best parts of this episode was Oliver Queen being there. I don't know why. I guess I just like Stephen Amell, the actor. Just, I don't know, his presence brought a little bit more weight to all of this. But then you see Nate and Rory, they have to go find the team members, and they first find Ray Palmer in the prehistoric time. He's dealing with a T-Rex. The CGI was decent for a CW show, and it was only a quick moment. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was decent. I'll go crazy over a dinosaur any day of the week. It was a little random, but they did that. Stein and Jax are in the medieval times, right before they get beheaded. They get saved. Sarah was, I guess, somewhere sleeping with a bunch of women, and she was about to get hung for, they thought she was a witch or something. And again, another like Sarah sleeps with women joke. It's like, I get it. There's a lot more to her character than that, though. I wish the show would understand that. The most interesting thing going forward that this first episode did was revealing that Dark, well, it seems like Dark is going to be a villain, which I love. Like, I mean, a main villain, hopefully, on this season. But the fact that he's working with Reverse Flash, that's awesome. That, I mean, I almost get chills and get giddy over it. However, now I'm a little worried that now this show is going to water down these two villains. Sure, Neil McDonough, I like him as an actor. I like him as a villain. Season 4 of Arrow wasn't great, but he was good in the role. Reverse Flash is like the best villain, one of the best villains that has been produced from these CW shows. I don't want this show to water him down like they've done with every single other character here. Look, I'm sorry. It sounds like I'm complaining and ranting and raving. Not really ranting and raving, but I have issues with the writing here. The writing on this show sucks. It does. The Justice Society of America, that could be interesting as well. It was a cool cliffhanger to see them come in, and they're going to do whatever they're going to do. But I will say that the production design looks good whenever they go back to an old time. That always looks on point. The action's always pretty good. The special effects and CGI for a CW show looks good. It's the show is ambitious in those ways, but when it comes to the writing, like for example, the last 5 minutes is them finding each and every one of the team members in the different times that they have. That should have taken episodes. That should not have been done in 5 minutes. That should have been, one episode should have been dedicated to finding Ray Palmer as he's dealing with dinosaurs and whatnot. That would have been a cool standalone episode. Another episode should have been medieval time. Another episode should have been with whatever Sarah was doing. Why are we finding all of them so easily in 5 minutes? It's lazy. That's what this show is. It's lazy. It is. Am I going to keep watching? I guess. Because it's connected, and we're going to have a big old crossover episode at some point. So I feel obligated to watch it, but it's not fun, not as good as it should be. I take it back. It is fun. It is a fun show, but I'm looking for more than that. I'm looking for some good writing. I'm looking for some interesting stories, some really introspective characters. The dumbed down versions of Sarah, of these characters that I used to love. It's troubling. But am I complaining too much? Am I just nitpicking like crazy? Let me know in the comments below if you too saw this first episode of Legends of Tomorrow. Did you love it? Did you think it was cool? Or do you agree with me and do you think this show needs a lot more work? The writing needs a lot more work. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!